Hey guys, Talisman All-Star, so I'll bring you a video on another comparison video. This one is between the Elite Force M4 CQC and the G&G CM16. Which one is the best? So I wanted to make this video because both of these guns are entry-level guns, entry/intermediate level guns that I believe a lot of people use and a lot of people have questions about, and a lot of people just sort of want to know the differences between them. Me personally, I know a little bit about both, so I'm going to try and give you guys the most information that I can possible and just try and show you guys the ups and downs of each one. So starting off with the G&G, this is actually a rental gun here at All-Star Airsoft, if that tells you anything right off the bat. The G&G CM16 Raider is one of the most highly regarded beginner airsoft guns pretty much ever. If you didn't have a G&G, then you haven't played airsoft really. Just about everybody in the airsoft community has owned or does own a G&G. I don't know how many I've owned, but I've owned quite a few of them. And obviously that doesn't come, with no reason. These guns are really great. They're absolutely amazing for what they are out of the box, and the upgradability on them is just fantastic. So starting off with a couple of basic features of this gun, it does have a full metal gearbox. The gearbox themselves are pretty reliable. Really the only thing that ever goes wrong with these things are the trigger contacts. Other than basic wear and tear, the motor, slows down after a while, but really nothing on the internals is lacking at all. These are the rental guns, like I said, so normally when these guns break, exactly, why. These guns are put, hundreds of thousands of rounds through them on semi, which is, terrible for a gun, if you guys know anything about that. And, they're still running, they're still up and going, they're fine, and, obviously a gun doesn't do that unless it's great. So another few basic features on this G&G, it has a full polymer body. Obviously both of these guns are both polymer because they're the entry level. The polymer just keeps the price down, but G&G polymer bodies are, highly known to be very reliable. These do break. These are rentals, obviously they're put through a lot, so you can't blame them. A lot of the G&G receivers, actually, I don't know if it's just this generation or this type or whatever, but they do crack a lot right here. They have the same sort of body line, you can kind of see it. At least 6 or 7 of our rentals actually broke in the same spot. So this could have just been a bad batch of upper receivers, I guess, but nonetheless these guns are absolutely fantastic. They're just known for being reliable. They're tanks of airsoft guns, and there's nothing that you can really complain about with the G&G. So moving on to the Elite Force. This gun is a little bit nicer. They're right around the same price, but this gun is a little bit different. Obviously this one is still polymer, like I said, so it does have the polymer body. This one is rear wired. This does have a train style stock on it. This is one of the newer generation in Elite Force M4 CQCs. The older ones just had standard crane stocks on there, if you have seen any of those. This one does have a metal rail system and a metal upper rail, so it is a little bit different. The build quality on the externals, me personally, I like the Elite Force a lot more, just because it stands out a little bit. It has trades and it just looks a little bit better visually. Reliability wise, I believe they're both around the same. I think I've seen more G&Gs crack than Elite Forces, but they're both pretty nice. The Elite Force is just a little bit thicker, I think, so that's probably why. But as for upgradability goes, the internals on both of these guns are pretty decent right out of the box. Reliability, I would definitely go with the G&G. I've had a lot more of these Elite Forces break than the G&Gs, and the electronic trigger system on these Elite Forces is not really known to be reliable. The performance does, increase a lot whenever you go from this Elite Force to the G&G. The Elite Force it has this trigger system. I don't know if you guys are aware of the micro switch. See if you can hear it here. You should be able to hear that. They do have the micro switch trigger system in there, so it's all like an electronic controlled system, very similar to a MOSFET with a micro switch. But these guns, internally wise, are nice, as well as the G&Gs, but the G&Gs are more reliable and the Elite Forces are more performance friendly, if that makes sense. Just in a nutshell, these guns sort of last, I would say, anywhere between 50,000 and 100,000 shots in my experience, and the G&Gs will last, closer to 100,000. So, obviously it's going to be a hit or miss. You might have a lemon, you might have one that never breaks. Really it just differs from gun to gun. But in my basic experience, that is what I have seen. So to answer the question that I presented today in today's video, which is the better CQB gun? Honestly, I think it's a very, very close tie. It's really just ends up being whatever your priorities are whenever you're looking for a gun. If you want reliability, the G&G. If you want performance right out of the box, and better externals and more you can do with the gun, more customized ability, that's the word, the Elite Force. The G&Gs, they're good, but they're very basic. As you can see, this is a standard carbine style gun. Obviously they do have railed versions, but you are going to be limited to what you're going to be able to do with those. The rail systems are kind of proprietary with the G&Gs. But, the G&Gs are basic, but they're tanks. They last. They're good on the internals, they're reliable. Nothing you're going to have to worry about here. The Elite Forces are reliable as well. The performance is a little bit higher, and the externals are a little bit better. So, overall, I believe the Elite Force comes in the lead today. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Which one do you like more? Why? Have you owned either or both maybe? And which one that you seem to enjoy a little bit more? So thank you guys for watching this video on which one is the best CQB done between the Elite Force over there, not this one, the Elite Force M4 C2C and the G&G CM16 Raider. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment like I said if you can. Thank you guys for watching this video. Tyler from All Stairs Office. Signing out.